feeling someone will pull out. I just got a feeling somebody.
I don't know how well, because we're a bit further away from the phone, so I don't know how well that's going to pick us up for the clips and that I'm putting up and what have you. But we'll see how it goes.
There.
Anyway, let's set to record, and we'll call it
episode 2.
Episode 2. No test.
The return of the
Just
ship.
episode 2. There we go. I need to name it so I can find it afterwards. Right. There we go. So we're good to go, boys. Right, welcome back to the Sunday League Pundit show. I had to change it because we did later find out that someone else has already used Sunday League Pundits. So we changed it, but here we go. We're back again to have a bit of a chat. We have come up with our teams, and it's only just occurred to me that I've written mine on my phone, which I'm currently using as a camera. But I do remember what it was. So
I wrote mine on a piece of paper that is currently sat in my car.
Yeah.
Yes, we're both just about as stupid as each other, really.
I'm actually just currently rewriting mine on my phone, so when we come to that conversation.
There we go. Right, well, we'll start with weekend's events. So I think we'll start with Leeds.
Hey.
I did watch the Leeds game, and I think Leeds played pretty well.
Can I just cast our mind back to the last one, where I actually said I didn't think Leicester were all that, and they were there for the taking? I just want to say, I was right. And they, the team that have scored so many goals and done so well were restricted to one shot on target in the 95th minute.
Was that the good save?
That was the good save. But I mean, literally.
It was a good save.
Oh, it was a phenomenal save. But still, a team that score against everyone.
It was a great game. I think Leeds played it really well. To be fair to them, they played it really, really well. Because it could have backfired. Like Leicester could have kept hitting you on the break, and they could have really gone for, and it just seems as though you just stifled them each and every way. It didn't matter what
to
they
be
did.
fair, I think Ampadu and Kamara just absolutely dominated midfield. They absolutely dominated it. They were unreal, the pair of them.
I agree. How optimistic are you for the season then?
Staying where I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've played both the teams above us and we've beat them both at their place.
Yeah, we've still got to take them back to Ellen Road as well, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. So
That's a pretty noisy place. Been there a couple of times.
just trying to think. We've lost all our games on the road, I think. Yeah.
So that's where you need to change.
That's where it needs to go better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Southampton.
It wasn't a very exciting game. I did watch it. It was very frustrating. We dominated thoroughly throughout. Millwall just let us play football, and it looked like we were going to be 0-0. But the wee man scored in the last minute, and 3 points again. And more importantly, I think a clean sheet was very important, because it's only our second clean sheet this season. Because it's a very leaky defence, but we defended well enough when we had to, and we got a reward in the end, which is good, and that's now 7 unbeaten, so we're tracking in an ideal world. It's good. Leicester have lost some points, so we've gained 3 points on them. Unfortunately, Birmingham got a late goal as well, which unfortunately that would have been 3 points on Ipswich as well, but we'll settle with the 2 point catch up there.
Let's just be honest, it's an absolute miracle that Wayne Rooney's actually picked up anything.
And I'm pretty sure that Tim was probably a little bit gutted that we scored in the last minute, because you'd probably liked us to be 0-0 because we're just the point behind you. So
Rooney's quite good. He picks up burgers quite well, doesn't he?
And Nance.
And that definitely.
Tough game for us next week. We've got West Brom at home, and they're just behind us in the league. Who've Leeds got next week?
You know what, I'm gonna have to check. I've just had that moment of like absolute mind blank.
He's gone mind blank.
Which isn't hard because usually my mind is pretty blank. Plymouth,
so again,
and we're at home. To be fair, our little run's not too bad. We've got Plymouth.
You were expecting a win against Plymouth.
Well, to be fair, I expected a win against Stoke, and look how that one went. But Plymouth, Rotherham, Swansea. That's not a bad run up into December, is it? Let's be honest.
It's not bad as long as you keep your form going.
Yeah.
As long as your form's good, then you should be.
December's
right
going to be more of a challenge. we've got Middlesbrough, Blackburn, Sunderland, Coventry, Ipswich again, Preston. So we're looking at some of the tougher games there. So we need a little bit of momentum, and we just need to keep playing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Arsenal this weekend. I've got a lot to say about the Arsenal game. I'm probably not what you would expect.
I watched most of the game. I think I missed 15 minutes somewhere in the first half. So
I missed the bits where there were meant to be rules. That's the bit I missed. I missed how Havertz can clearly side somebody down with full intent and not get red carded.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I missed the point where somebody can forearm smash somebody in the back of the head, even though it was Jorginho and he probably deserves it. How you can do that and not see red.
Yeah.
And then at the end, which nobody seems to have mentioned, Livramento went to tackle Martinelli at the end, knee high, and nobody's even mentioned that as a potential red card.
But can I just say on the elbow, what surprised me more was the fact VAR looked at it and there wasn't even a yellow card. It was just complete
They can't.
They can't give you a yellow card.
It's red or nothing.
They just decide, is it red or is it not a red? How is VAR anything other than dumb? Look at the decisions we've had this season.
An interesting point is that the fourth official can tell the referee to give it. So if the fourth official saw him do it, a yellow card can be given. If the linesman sees it, a yellow card can be given. So any of the officials can actually tell the referee, just VAR can't.
Even a linesman can turn around to the ref and go, I think that was a booking, mate. It can advise the ref. They've all got the little fucking walkie-talkies.
I didn't understand how he also didn't get booked at the end of the first half when he blatantly kicked the ball at the Arsenal player and then ran up to Rice and pushed him in the throat as well.
Mate, honestly, some of the decisions, but then you've got, as much as I don't like them, Wolves, their striker got assaulted by Onana, can't catch a ball. He got fully flattened and taken out. Gabriel Jesus last week, absolutely flattened by the goalkeeper, nothing given. Havertz scythed him down, no red card. Yeah. Should have been a red card. I'm sorry. I'm an Arsenal fan. He should have walked. Yeah. Bruno should have walked. Livramento should have walked. I don't know where the rules are. Refs now, in my opinion, refs have become lazy and overly complacent because they're now relying on VAR. And VAR, the guys there just don't know what they're doing.
I mean, I thought Havertz could have been booked as well for his slide tackle in the second half.
He's lucky he didn't get booked for that. Given the fact that you've already broken somebody's leg, or that was the intent, or it looked like that was his intent as far as I'm concerned. It looked like he intended to fully sideswipe that guy.
But I don't know if you felt the same way, but I felt like that you could have played for another 90 minutes and you probably still wouldn't have scored. You did not.
Do you know why we wouldn't have scored? Do you know why we wouldn't have scored? Because Arteta, in his infinite wisdom, has started Raya, who's garbage. He gave a goal away against Spurs because he palmed the ball into Johnson, who then tapped it to Son and scored a goal. Right? He was then a little bit off on the one-on-one after Jorginho then gave the ball away. Right? I'm mentioning Jorginho for a reason. Right? He then gave City 5 good chances in the first half. City being off it and dumb luck does not give Raya free rein to make as many mistakes as he wants. Right? He then messes up against Chelsea and he's miles out of his position where he should be as a goalkeeper when the ball gets crossed over by Mudryk and it goes in. He then gives the ball to Palmer in the same game, and again, dumb luck that Palmer didn't hit it first time, that he didn't concede then. Then he gives away this goal because he is his name David Raya or Flappy Bird? Because I'm not sure what's wrong with the guy. I don't know what Arteta's looking at. Is it because they're from the same country? Is Arteta just trying to make us as Spanish as possible? Because he is crap.
Yeah, I felt that he should have got a hand to that ball. He should have at least been putting.
You watch American football?
Yes.
How many teams would keep him on as a winger? As a running back that's meant to fly up and catch the ball.
The wide receiver.
That's the one, yeah. So you can tell I don't watch American football.
So, yeah.
How many would keep him on?
No.
One game of that, and that'd be soap in a sock in the dressing room.
I think what amazes me is they dropped. Wow, I'm having a real.
Ramsdale?
Yeah, Ramsdale. I'm having a real dementia day. But they dropped Ramsdale. And then he played the other night.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, he was solid. Didn't really do anything wrong.
Well, he got fouled for one of the goals.
Yeah.
Which.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't really do anything wrong. There was no reason to drop him. Prior to being dropped in the first place, he hadn't done anything wrong. He has a decent game.
Arteta doesn't like him.
And then he got dropped.
It's clear Arteta just doesn't fancy the guy.
I'm not sure what...
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what there's obviously something happening.
Yeah, there is. Arteta doesn't... If we carry on, Jorginho, he gives passes away constantly. He is the next Xhaka. Can't pass a ball, can't shoot, can't score.
Takes a good penalty.
No, he doesn't. Have you seen him taking a penalty? It's like he suffered from polio. I hate that sort of penalty. It's ridiculous. Run and kick the fucking ball if you're going to run and kick the ball. What's all the jumping and hop skipping and do that?
It's a keeper.
It doesn't though, does it? It just makes you look like a twat. Don't bother. Jorginho, useless. Raya, useless. Gabriel Margulies at the back, as far as I'm concerned, not good enough. He's alright.
Hello.
It's bonfire now, by the way. I don't know if anyone I don't know if it's going to pick that up. I assume it will because it sounds like it's next door and literally on top of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're now currently trying to record a podcast underneath thousands of pounds worth of fireworks, so it should be good. Nketiah, very, very, very good championship striker. Not good enough.
I've got to
I'm
say,
sorry, but
I wouldn't take him at Southampton. He wouldn't be a player that I'd look at signing.
We had him at Leeds for a short time.
And would you take him back?
No.
You both just answered my question. Why is he starting for Arsenal? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the guy because he started at Arsenal and he is one of our own, to use that completely overused phrase of sometimes players that aren't even one of your own. But he's just not good enough. And should we even start on Havertz? Because I mean, I didn't start the podcast angry.
I mean, literally.
And I don't intend
I get
to
the
get
feeling
angry.
that if we let you, we're going to be here for the whole night just listening
All
to
I'm going to say on the matter is Havertz should not be in the starting 11. I'm not going to go into why, because the podcast will be at least 3 hours long.
And I'm pretty sure that Havertz is going to come up a lot most weeks of our podcast.
Yeah,
so
over
time we'll find out.
I reckon I'll cover it over the next, say, 6 to 12 months.
I honestly think we're going to hear
my feelings on Havertz.
So I think the last part of the day is we got to talk about the goal, because it's
a goal.
It was a long look.
It's a goal.
It's a goal.
Right. The ball was in.
Yes, I've seen.
Ben White didn't cover. Jorginho. Let's go back onto Jorginho. Fucking useless twat. Right. He was the closest to the ball, and he's pointing and telling Ben White to go and close it down. You go and close it down. You're closest. If you've seen that it hasn't gone out, why stand there and tell someone else to go? Go and get the ball. But no. So he tells Ben White to get it. Ben White sort of addles over, like the game's over, and he's walking back into the changing room.
Okay, so you're happy the ball's in. I've seen the lines. The ball's in.
As the ball comes over,
foul or not a foul?
Flappy Bird does his stuff.
Yeah, we
comes out and
about that.
Misses it.
Okay, there's a push.
How's it a foul? He's already stooping.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But Gabriel's already on his way down, and his hand's there.
So you agree that
but you haven't pushed him over. He's stooping to head it, and I bet you he thinks Raya's got it.
Maybe.
I bet he's just trying to make life awkward. What he's doing is he thinks that was it Joe Linton? He thinks Joe Linton's going to use him as leverage. So he's like, well, I'm just going to lean out the way because Raya's got it anyway. No. Why would you think that Flappy McFlatface has got it when clearly he hasn't got a clue what he's doing?
And you can't decide if there was an offside or not because you cannot tell which direction the ball is going.
Backwards or sideways.
If you want my honest opinion, I don't think he's ahead of play anyway. So whether he's ahead of Ryan or not, it then becomes irrelevant.
You know what? It'd be nice if you timed that to you swearing.
Yeah.
Like, if I could have Kai.
Yeah, just get the screen.
But again, I find it funny that where the Arsenal fans on Facebook are complaining, going, VAR ruined it. It's an absolute joke. We should have not given the goal.
Are they real fans?
Like I don't want VAR, and I
well,
remember
we don't want VAR because referees were there.
And I remember my one point I said, if there was no VAR, it was a goal because that was the on-field decision. So you can't blame VAR because without VAR,
it was a goal with VAR, so it makes no difference. Like Arsenal fans are kicking off about the wrong things, in my opinion, because they're kicking off about the decisions and the red cards. And okay, there should have been 3 red cards for me: Livramento, Bruno, and Havertz. All should have walked. There's an argument that had Havertz gone, the other 2 wouldn't have happened because Bruno was annoyed because Havertz hadn't got sent off, and then 3 Newcastle players got booked, and they're blaming Havertz for that. The U kicked off, and one of them was, I think it was Longstaff, the one who got challenged, got up and he was mouthy with the ref. Well, how's that Havertz's fault that you've been booked? You've clearly said something to the ref that he doesn't like, and he's booked you for what you've said. It's nothing to do with Havertz. Wind your neck in and get back on with the game. Simple. Simple. Football's easy if you just concentrate on your own game and what you're meant to be doing. But no, so they then get all het up because Havertz wasn't sent off, which admittedly he should have been. But then it ruins it then, because then Bruno's smashing people in the back of the head and Livramento's going through him like a train, and the ref just lets everybody get away with everything, and it just became carnage.
So what you're saying is the referee couldn't contain, he wasn't capable of containing the game?
No, I don't think he knew what he was doing.
So
I think they're relying too heavily on VAR now. I think it's made officials lazy.
So we're on VAR, so I don't know if you saw it, so we'll go on to Wolves game against Sheffield United, last minute penalty. See anything about it?
I will not.
You've not seen it.
I haven't seen it, to be fair.
I'd go see it.
Hold on there.
He's gonna have a look.
If he can get it up on his phone, we'll have a look at it now.
But I can see why Wolves fans are very angry about the decision to award the penalty, or more so keep the penalty.
So it was a dodgy decision that was upheld when it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, in my viewpoint. So
hang on, I've got to the penalty. I'm just trying to get to the.
So he's going to have a look.
Another firework. But carry on. I'm just waiting for. What? Hang on.
He tells us to carry on, then stammers.
Yeah.
Have you just seen the penalty?
I saw something. I'm not. I mean.
Right. I'm now gonna for the audio listeners. I'm now going to have a look at this.
I missed it initially.
What? Is that what the penalty was given for?
The little bump in the bum.
Yeah, the little.
Was there?
Not much contact.
Wait, what? Was there anything?
That's why I literally just saw it. I was like, what have I missed?
Is this it?
No, this is the first goal. Cracking
What?
finish.
Was it that first clip that I saw?
That little bump?
Mate,
and he just goes down.
Is that what the penalty was given for?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a joke.
That's
an absolute joke.
And obviously, I mean, the penalty you took, wow.
Yeah, the penalty was good, but...
I mean, that's... Oh, that's beyond embarrassing, isn't it?
But that's kind of like
How does that
2 weeks
stand?
in a row for Wolves, and you can see why. And when you're at the bottom of the league, towards the bottom of the league, Wolves aren't bottom, you can understand their frustration.
That is shocking. That is shocking.
I am going to watch it again just because I'm still baffled to what he's actually giving.
Yeah,
for.
I'm not sure how that was
So
given on field. Well, even the fireworks are disagreeing with it.
I know, the fireworks, yeah. See, that's currently every Wolves fan swearing.
That probably is,
Yeah.
Whose idea was it to film on Bonfire Night? Just saying.
Do you know what? It never even occurred to me that our neighbours would be setting off £100 worth of fireworks.
See, this is why my place is great. I have no neighbours, they all died.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's... I'm glad you live such a cheery fun life. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Oh, mine went off. Yeah. So okay. What was the other game I want to talk? Did anyone watch the Villa game today?
Yes.
A little bit.
Villa were poor. Very poor, actually.
First goal was very, very good finish. He basically passed it with power into the back of the net.
I would agree. I quite enjoyed that finish, to be fair. Villa were not at the races today at all.
Sorry, I just saw the other Sheffield United goal.
Forest,
Wow.
though, I think they're underrated. I think Forest. I think they're quite a good side, and Gibbs White, since he's gone there, has really upped his game. Hasn't he? I think being snubbed by his home club Wolves has really sort of it's lit a fire under him. I think because it could have gone one or two ways. I think Wolves is his boyhood club. I think he's a Wolves fan, isn't he? So to be snubbed by them, I think must have hurt. But he's definitely gone the right way about going. You've let a right gem go here.
Yeah.
Because he is running games and he's an absolutely fantastic player. Fantastic.
The thing is that you do get that. It's like you get some players who, under certain managers, look really good, or they don't look very good, and then they go to. It's like I was reading a report today saying like Chelsea are regretting selling Ampadu. He was on your books for like 6 years and you did nothing with him.
Not like he was there 5 minutes.
I think it depends on the player you've got, because Wolves in that position had Ruben Neves. So who's the better player between Gibbs White and Ruben Neves at the time? Ruben Neves was a fantastic player, so you can understand.
Yeah, he was a great player, but surely you still want to bring your own through, though, don't you? You want to give him minutes.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to say one thing. This might not be sellable.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to get together to record another one, so it's going to have to go out, isn't it? This,
Unless we delay for half hour.
We could do. I don't know how long they're going to go for. I mean, I don't mind because I've cancelled my football tonight anyway, so it makes no sense. Right. What we'll do then is we're about to start recording again.
Okay, hold on.
For the audio medium. That's still not come back on, but there we go. We're back on there. So that's back on. I've taken the sound off, so it's obviously we're not going to cross any boundaries.
Happy days. Oh shit! No, where did that?
So right, are we good?
We are good.
Right. Well, when we get back on, we'll talk about the three teams, and then we'll go on to Ballon d'Or afterwards. Okay, so we're back after a short break due to fireworks, and we're hoping there's not going to be too many more. We've waited as long as we possibly can do, so it's just fingers crossed really at this point, and just hope for the best. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the combined teams that we were going to do. Last week we spoke about doing a combined team, being that me obviously being an Arsenal fan, I have to create a Premier League 11, but I have to put 3 Leeds players in it, and I have to put 3 Saints players in it. Jim Jam has to put 3 Arsenal, 3 Leeds, and Tin Ribs had to put 3 Saints and 3 Gunners in it.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about our teams now, which is bound to start some form of debate along the way of certain players and why you haven't put this one and why have you put that one, etc., etc.
Are we going to go full team from start to finish, or are we going to go position?
I think we should just go each full team,
Okay.
then discuss.
Okay.
Yeah? Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go first.
Tin Ribs.
Obviously, when we started this discussion, one of the problems was we were saying like Arsenal. Who's your Arsenal players? Because Arsenal have had throughout history probably the better players. So the first thing I did was pick my 3 Arsenal players, which was Cole, Xhaka, and Adebayor.
Why would you even joke about that?
You know what? I did a similar
joke
thing.
about that.
I did a similar thing, and I put in Jens Lehmann,
Yeah.
Kyle Havertz,
Yeah.
and Shamak.
Why would you do that? Just no need. I'm going. We're calling it.
No. Okay. So on a serious note now.
Just for a second, I believed him.
Yeah.
We may have half discussed that during the week.
It was just like, how can I get stretched with this one?
So, no news for that.
Oh, brilliant.
Anyway, Tin Ribs team, legit.
So, my legit team. So again, one of the problems you have is, it's sort of like, what players do you pick in what position and who do you sort of leave out, which is always the hardest part. So we agreed on 4-4-2, so I'm just gonna start at the back. My goalkeeper's Nigel Martin.
Knew that.
Yeah.
My right back is Klein.
Okay.
Yeah. I did not know Nathaniel Klein.
Yeah.
I did not know he played in the Premier League.
Yeah. Which is why that took me a bit of surprise, and that was like immediately like, yeah, that's the one. Okay. My centre backs are Adams and Radaby. And then my left back is Ian Hart. My midfield, starting at right wing, is Gordon Strachan. My centres are Laetitia and Vieira. My left wing is Mane. Now up front, this was the killer. This was the real killer. But I've actually ignored Thierry Henry at this point.
Get out.
Yeah, I actually went with Bergkamp.
Forgive him.
Because that guy was phenomenal.
Can I guess your last one?
You can.
Would it be Tony? Tony Yeboah?
It isn't.
Robbie Fowler?
No. It's Mark Viduka.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Over Yeboah?
Yeah.
Wow. Now you see, I was debating putting in the Robbie Fowler for Leeds. Because I forgot that he played for Leeds, and then I was like, ooh, Robbie Fowler, that's a good shot.
Wasn't the equivalent to like about 10 minutes though?
No, didn't have that.
Okay. Jim Joe. I know your team.
Yeah, I hope so.
Go for it.
Because the team's in the car.
Mine's recording us.
So with the goalkeeper. So if I was going Southampton, I would have been going Tim Flowers. But obviously,
Really? See, I actually looked at Naomi.
Good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He was probably third on my list because I think I managed to get 3 from each position for the Saints because it was a lot easier for me to pick that. But no, I would be putting in Nigel Martin as one of the Leeds players to go in there.
Nigel Martin.
And then Arsenal's one would have been Petr Cech. Or David Seaman. You know, there's been some good keepers, Paul Robinson as well. My right back, I think I was going Kyle Walker-Peters. I did talk about Nathaniel Klein as well. Lee Dixon and Gary Kelly. So for me, I'd probably be putting in Kyle Walker-Peters because I just think he's been our best right back for a long, long time and still is proving that.
I would agree.
My centre-back partnership, really easy. Honourable mentions to Jose Fonte and Ludic Varm, but it's Virgil van Dijk, who's outstanding. Other people might not agree because he goes on the Liverpool side of things. And then he gets partnered up with the second Leeds player to go in the team, which would be Rio Ferdinand, one of the best centre-backs to go in. Left back, Wayne Bridge for Southampton. Graham also could have been in there.
He actually genuinely expected to say Cole.
Ian Hart would have been the Leeds one, but I'd be going with Ashley Cole at left back because I think he's one of the best left backs in the world, not just the Premier League. So left wing.
Right now, that stretches brain cells just going in absolute overload.
So left wing, Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
I don't think I could put anybody else in on that side of things. Centre midfield, I would be going with Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
And alongside him, was really struggling with that side of things, who to partner in, because Matt Laetitia, my favourite player of all time, but I can't put him in a 4-4-2 position in the centre mid position. So because I'm going more predominantly Southampton, I'm going with Ward-Prowse in that position.
Can't argue with that, really.
And then on the right side, I was a little bit torn between 2 Arsenal players on that side of things, which was Robert Pires and Freddie Ljungberg.
Yeah. Perez was a left-sided player, but okay.
Yeah, but I'd throw Mane on the other side if I needed to, so they'd either do that. So I'd probably go with Freddie Lundberg on that right hand side.
Okay.
I mean, there's lots of other players there, and then up front would be Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah.
It's not horrible side. It's
It's
not a
not
horrible
a
side.
horrible
to be fair.
side.
No.
I would just like to interject at this point and say Luton are currently 0 up against Liverpool.
When did we miss that? When we missed that?
We have the game playing in the background. Obviously, it's not on video because it's on, a certain network that we're not licensed to show, but it is on in the background. It's the 84th minute, and Luton are currently 1 up against Liverpool. And if anyone that is watching on YouTube wanted to know why my gaze was wandering while they were talking about their teams, it's because it was taking everything in me not to jump up and down and scream, shout, and celebrate the fact
kind
that
of wish
Liverpool are
that
getting
he
beaten
did
by
jump
Luton.
up and down and scream and shout.
And all I'm going to say was an amazing goal because it was Luton scoring against Liverpool. So it doesn't matter how good he was, does it?
Ooh!
So there we go. Anyway, so my team, I'm going to do it slightly different to you two. So I'm going to go 3 Leeds players, which would be Ian Hart at left back, Rio Ferdinand at centre back, and Yeboah up front. They're my 3 Leeds players. My 3 Southampton players, I'm not going to lie, I did go a bit scummy on it. My right winger is Theo Walcott. Right, so I may have taken the mulligan on the right winger, but my right wing is Theo Walcott. I went for central midfield, technically not his spot, but he would be pushing up, would be Letitia, because I just couldn't leave the guy out. And I also went for your right back, which would be the same guy you mentioned, Walker Peters, wasn't it? I went for him at right back. So they're my 3 Saints, but no I didn't. That wasn't the first thing. I went for Mane on the left. Yeah. Walcott on the right, Mane on the left, and Letizia. And then my Arsenal players were David Seaman, because I can't go for Czech, because the best years of his life were at Chelsea, not at Arsenal. For me, wasn't that
No, I agree with
Arsenal. So it has to be David Seaman. I've got obviously Tony Adams in the middle, and my right back was actually Lau Ren, because I personally think he's been our best right back.
That surprises me.
My central midfielder that I'm missing, obviously Patrick Vieira, and the striker that I'm missing goes without saying. I say goes without saying, but it was difficult to leave Ian Wright out.
I was going to say, Ian Wright was...
I did plumb for Thierry Henry, purely because Yeboah needs that sort of... I can't imagine Yeboah and Wright up front. They're both explosive players. Keepers would die, let's be honest. So I had to sort of just calm it down a little, and I went for Henry over Wright, but that would be the team that I personally went for. But Seaman and Nigel Martin, it's 50-50 for me between the two of them. Because as much as I love David Seaman and as much as we won with him, Nigel Martin is a cracking goalkeeper. He was superb. So it was difficult to leave him out, but I did want Yeboah, I did want Ian Hart, and I did want Rio Ferdinand, so them 3 took it for me over Martin. But having Seaman as a backup, if you like, is not a bad one, is it? So no. I don't think we really disagreed with too much.
To be honest,
I mean, the Virgil van Dijk thing is a bit scummy because he is a Liverpool guy now.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that just because I hate Liverpool. But
he was a Liverpool.
He was.
Yeah. Climate to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I did think that I'd throw a curveball in with the Clyde because obviously people didn't expect that one. And then I knew Bergkamp would shock because obviously everyone immediately goes straight to Henry. But on technicality, I actually think Bergkamp's probably a better player.
Better player? Oh yeah, undoubtedly. Not a better goal scorer, but he's definitely a better player. Yeah. I don't think there's much doubt, but I don't think there's been many better players than Bergkamp in Premier League history.
No, I think he's arguably one of the greatest strikers. But like whenever you hear people do their top team of all time, he often gets overlooked, which is a shame because he just was phenomenal. So I had to have him.
See, for me, he doesn't come under striker. Ian Wright was a striker. Henry was a striker. Viduka was a striker. Bergkamp was just a forward.
Yeah.
Wasn't a striker. But
he's number 10. He's a classic number 10.
So good. Well, now it's a classic number 10, but back then, it was unheard of, wasn't it? It was just
Yeah.
it was novel for your striker to drop back and start doing other things because your strikers were just that, they were just strikers.
I mean, there's a lot of good players that we left out of that team.
Oh,
even
Jesus Christ.
and
I
even
mean,
when I
that's
talk about,
I haven't put Ward
Leeds
Prowse in
and
mine.
stuff-
I love Ward Prowse.
Yeah,
I had to.
I can leave Letizia out though.
I literally had to leave out one of my all-time favourite players, David Batty. I had to leave him, and I was just like,
I wrote
that was so hard to do.
I wrote David Batty down on the Leeds.
2-0.
It is actually 2-0.
2-0.
Liverpool are currently losing 2-0 against Luton. And honestly,
Oh,
this
nice.
makes up for Arteta picking a garbage side.
I mean, that's going to get a I reckon. But
Yeah,
oh mate,
probably.
this is a great day for football.
are they checking it? Because there was a lot of waving of hands and
As
it's
depressing.
offside.
Oh no, I think that was that not just a replay of the first goal?
I don't know.
I
because
don't
that
know.
guy's
You
down
saw
injured.
it.
You saw it.
I didn't see it. I saw it
I
just
think that
after
was
the
the
game.
first goal.
I just saw it just
Oh,
after
for
the
God's
goal.
sake. God damn you.
8 minutes.
We said about what we said then.
Yeah.
There's 8 minutes injury time, but there's been no second goal.
God damn you, Stretch.
Well, we have just seen the goal.
I just
We know
literally
what it was
looked
like.
up to see them score and I didn't realise it was a replay.
I've got to say, the biggest surprises I thought was picking Mark Viduka.
Why?
I kind of never named him in my 3 potential Leeds players that I thought, could go in. Because I was like, okay, Robbie Fowler, I was like, that one of the greatest ones up there. I think I wrote Robbie Keane
Yeah.
down on there. I mean, he did it for a lot of clubs. And I just can't remember who the last one was. It was on a piece of paper
That you left in your car.
that I left in the car.
As you can see, we're
If it
still
comes back.
very, very well prepared for this podcast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I was
Trying-
well prepared on
my
Monday.
team is on the phone that I'm currently using to record the podcast for YouTube, so I have no actual access to it in my hands, which is why I got my team wrong. Jim Jam wrote his on a piece of paper that he's currently left in his car.
Which is why
So the
I
only
got
one of us
confused
that's
with my
actually got
team.
any form of preparation, amazingly, and I can't believe for a second I'm saying this, is Tin Ribs.
Yep.
The only one that's even remotely prepared is the least prepared person I've ever met in my life. I can't believe that, mate. We've let ourselves down.
I'm just really good at winging
We've
it.
let the pod down. And I'm ashamed of both of us. But I'm also okay with it. So.
Yeah.
Right, so I think what we'll do then is we've gone on from that. There wasn't actually as much debate from that as I thought there was going to be. Apart from, the Virgil van Dijk thing. I've not fully forgiven you for that.
Yeah.
So I think the next thing we've got to talk about would be, obviously we have to talk about the Ballon d'Or. Because De Bruyne summed it up perfectly for me. In his statement, where
I didn't
they
know
asked
what he
him
said.
why he didn't turn up. And he said, when you've got a guy that's won a treble, scored more goals than anybody else in the hardest league, and he doesn't come close to winning the Ballon d'Or from a guy that's moved to America and basically not done anything, he said that I'm done.
Yeah.
He said that for me is just corrupt.
But the thing is, there was a point a couple of years ago, it was after Germany won the World Cup. So Germany have just won the World Cup.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
And Neuer gets his vote. Now, Neuer was the first goalkeeper to get a nomination since, I think it was 1986. So Neuer at this point has won the Champions League, the Bundesliga, and the World Cup.
And let's face it, not a bad keeper.
And let's face it, at the time, hands down number 1 in the world.
Easily.
And he came third. And they gave it to, I can't remember if it was Ronaldo or Messi, but they gave it to one of those two, who at the time had won the La Liga, and that was about it.
He probably broke some sort of scoring record in a season.
Irrelevant. The fact of the matter was, the guy won 3 trophies at the highest level, and he got ignored because of a brand. And that's what it was. It was a brand, not achievement. See, the Ballon d'Or is supposed to be the best player in the world, the person who's achieved the most, but now it's all a brand thing. Don't get me wrong, we can all agree Messi is probably one of the greatest players of all time.
But this year, Messi won Player of the Month. The World Cup is only 4 weeks long, basically. So he effectively won Player of the Month. He didn't win Player of the Year because Erling Haaland did it over the course of a year.
Haaland is just ridiculous.
So that's why he, in my viewpoint, should have won it, and he talk about how the World Cup takes precedent. But
the only
like you
people
mentioned, Neuer, it didn't go to Neuer. And I believe you look back over several World Cups, it doesn't go with the World Cup very often. Sometimes it does. I mean, obviously Luka Modric, he won it based on Croatia's performance in a World Cup and what he was doing.
Yeah, but wasn't he already at Real Madrid at this point? And
But
Real
he
Madrid
was doing
playing really well.
So it was a
great
justified including the World Cup. But it only suits when it suits. And if they want Messi to win because he's their poster boy, they wanted him to win the World Cup, so the decision went there. I mean, talking about the World Cup final, he wasn't even the best player on the pitch.
No,
Mbappe was the best player on the pitch in the
by
World
some
Cup
distance
final.
as well. I know, I've seen Liverpool have equalised. That's depressing. In the 95th minute.
Yeah. But yeah, it's...
It is a sham, and I agree with De Bruyne that it is corrupt, and there's no two ways about it, because there is only one winner of the Ballon d'Or, and it's not Messi. As good as you think Messi has been, and as good as Messi's records have been over the years, just hasn't beat out Haaland this season for me, or pretty much anybody else. Really.
Not even close.
To literally win the treble, I mean, other than Man United, no one's done it. I think like Munich have done it with the German equivalent, but
they have won 10 titles in a row, or 11 in a row.
I mean,
so it's clearly not as difficult
and
over there.
You can probably argue that Real Madrid have possibly done it, but when you're playing the equivalent of professional Scottish football, it's not really hard to do that in Spain. But to win the treble is a massive thing. To outscore everybody else and then not win is literally the biggest crock of shit that you could possibly get.
I would agree.
Don't even think Messi was the best player for Argentina during that World Cup or won it for
But
them. I'd probably say Martinez probably had a bigger hand in...
I don't even think he's been the best player at Inter Miami.
I just want to point out though, on that note, if you want to go into like how much a load of shit the Ballon d'Or is, Onana got into the nominations for the best goalkeeper in the world. Now, everyone's going, yes, but his time at Inter Milan. When he was at Inter Milan, I think they were the 10th best defensive record. 10th. That's not even good. That's not even saying, oh, congratulations, you're one of the best keepers in Italy. He wasn't even in the top fucking 5. So how is he getting into the world's best goalkeepers?
Because he was in the Champions League final.
What did he fucking do?
I don't agree with that. I'm just telling you the reason.
He made one cup final. They won nothing else. In fact, I'm pretty sure that when Man United knocked on Inter Milan's door, they were already packing his bags for him and ushering him out the door because their defensive record is better now than it was with him.
Shocker. I've seen him at United. I can well believe it's
exactly
better without him in that.
And yet he's getting nominees.
But
it's a popularity.
I'll be honest though, it's still only 50-50 as to whether I'd have him or Raya. Because Raya's been absolute garbage since he's been with us.
Yeah.
That's like him being nominated for the greatest goalkeeper in the world. It's a joke for Onana to be even nominated, to be even thought of as that. He's not even the best goalkeeper in Manchester. Yeah. And they're trying to say that he's one of the best in the world. I don't think so.
No. It is a popularity contest, and it's very much become... I'm going to use the Oscars as an example. I don't know if anybody follows the Oscars, but the Oscars isn't so much about the film anymore. It's about how many tick boxes you've ticked and whose lap you've sat on and which little group that you're championing at the time. And it's supposed to be an accolade for the best actor, but it's not. It's all a popularity contest. It's who you can stand up. Ricky Gervais did his famous, don't stand up here telling us all your shit, just come up, thank the people and fuck off. And that's what the Ballon d'Or is.
Greatest speech ever, by the way, at the Oscars.
But the Ballon d'Or, literally, the last couple of years, has started to look like that. But I was sort of hoping that it's like, didn't Messi win it last year as well, when he was at Paris?
He's won it like 8 times.
Yeah, but it's
like, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's deserved because he's been superb.
Yeah.
But I don't think he should have won 8.
And it was
He should have won this one.
Last year's Ballon d'Or winner was Benzema.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
He was great last year.
To be fair,
He stepped out of Ronaldo's shadow, so to speak, and went on and scored a lot of goals.
He did really well.
And I think they won the Champions League.
Benzema's one of those players
that
that's sort of been overshadowed a lot anyway. It's like, he's always been sort of in the shadow of another player, and for him to actually come out and take over as the main man's good. So I'll give that. I couldn't remember who won last year, but you do get it. It's like Messi, he's just a brand, and everyone will always bang on about how great he is, and you can have a terrible season at Paris Saint-Germain, and it's like this is where everyone's going to start slating me. Don't care. Mbappe, overrated, massively overrated. He's been overshadowed by Messi and Neymar. He works in the Farmers League. Let's be honest. If we literally said to people, choose 5 teams from France who are good, you're going to get stuck after 3.
I don't think people would be able to name 5 teams in France.
But
good.
But so you've got a league that is literally dominated by 3 or 4 teams. A bit like the Scottish Premiership.
3 or 4 Scottish Premiership.
There's 2.
But what I'm saying is, it's just the Scottish Premiership with more money.
That's at the minute. That's like the Dutch league, isn't it? Yeah. Where they're banging on, like they're not going on about how well this team are doing or how well that's. It's all about how badly Ajax are playing because they know there's only one team in the league. So when they're not doing well, it's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Why are they not doing well?
But the problem you've got with Mbappe is he looks great. He's got these great stats. He's got these great fucking numbers because he's playing people who probably can't even get into the Sunday League. And then he goes to the Champions League and he's won it exactly 0 times. Why? Because as soon as he comes across a decent defender, he ain't all that. And now everyone's going to start going, oh, but he scored a hat-trick in the World Cup. Congratulations. He was quiet till the 79th minute. I actually forgot he was genuinely on the pitch. He scores an absolute worldie. Can't take that away from him. And then scored 2 penalties. Okay, congratulations, you scored from 12 yards, where you are expected to score.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think his attitude was good in the World Cup final because he literally dragged France from the mire and pushed them forward. So I liked his attitude in the final. But I agree with you that he's not as amazing
as everyone makes out.
As everyone is making out.
When they're all on about he's a £200 million player, I just don't see it. I just do not see it.
That's why he's not been bought for £200 million.
Right, let's be honest. Nobody's a £200 million player. Right, nobody's a £100 million player. Let's have it right. Nobody's £100 million.
It's what you're willing to pay.
Money.
It's what you're willing to pay.
Stupid money. But people are worth what somebody's willing to stump up. Is Grealish worth 100 million? Well, City thought so, so yes. Do I think so? No, do a boot. I don't think anyone's worth 100 million. I think it's absolutely insane. Thank you very much. Yeah. And I think being paid £300,000, £400,000, £500,000 a week is ridiculous. Especially when they churn out tripe like that. You've got Liverpool players on £200,000-300,000 a week, and they're getting beat by people that probably have part-time jobs in Luton.
Oh, I saw a great one earlier.
1-1 is finished.
Yeah. When I was watching the build-up and they were on about...
Are you sure? Because they look happier.
Liverpool's...
That's because they're relieved that they got the...
Liverpool's... they did since 1992, the spending, and Luton had spent 32 million since 1992. 92. So one of the players that Liverpool bought this season is more than Luton has spent in the last 20 years.
30 years.
Sorry, 30 years. Yeah. 30 years.
Probably more than they'll spend in the next 10.
Yeah. So that's why they're happy, because they've just not been showed up by...
Well, they have definitely been shown up. I mean, the goal they scored was okay, to be fair to Liverpool, but to rescue a draw against Luton... I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful against Luton, because they put in the bloody effort.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give them that. I've watched a couple of Luton games, and as much as they haven't got the ability of other teams...
I actually really like Luton.
Damn, they don't half try hard.
I think Luton are like... You know when Leeds first went back up and they became everybody's favourite second team because they just...
I'd love to see them... They're not going to. I'd love to see them survive.
I want
because just because the fans are like... I think it's because the fans are not arseholes. The fans are just genuine, so happy.
Big thing for you, isn't it, about people, fans being arseholes?
I just don't like arseholes.
You know, everything about this game, and this would be one of the things why we're disliking of Liverpool, but nothing will be mentioned about the fact that Luton have drawn that game. Everything will be made out about the fact that Luis Diaz is playing in that game, and they've come back and equalised at the last minute. Now, what went on with him is absolutely disgusting, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but they'll focus so much on that aspect. And they'll take away everything about what Luton have done in that game. I mean, who would have thought that Luton were going to draw 1-1 with Liverpool at the start of the day?
You've got to hand it to Luton. They've got some fight, haven't they?
You always get that, though, whenever a team, a big team, like loses or draws, they always make it about the big team in the headlines.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Rather than give the little boys the sort of, look how well they did, it's look how bad they did.
Hence with the Arsenal against Newcastle. That's going to ruffle some feathers, isn't it? Calling Newcastle a small team. Going to ruffle some feathers, that is. You're a small team. You've got one team in your town. That's why you've got so many fans. That's a bit like saying, why are Celtic and Rangers so popular? Well, there's only 2 teams in Scotland. So every kid that's 7, 8, 9 years old that's brilliant at football, do you think they want to play for Hearts or Aberdeen? No. They want to go to Celtic and Rangers. Why? Because they're the only 2 decent teams there. So when you've got a kid that's a Geordie and he's 6 years old and he's phenomenal at football,
I want to go to Sunderland.
Which team in Newcastle is he going to pick?
Sunderland.
That he wants to go to. Might be Newcastle. What do you reckon?
Maybe
Sunderland.
The kids that are growing up, 5, 6 years old, they grow up in Newcastle.
Can we have? I just want to go on this argument for a second. Who's bigger, Sunderland or Newcastle?
Newcastle are.
It would have to be Newcastle, wouldn't it? Because they are a bigger club than Sunderland for me personally.
Why?
I just think they're a bigger club at the moment.
At the moment.
I think they're a bigger club right now, and I think Sunderland have lost their way. I think they've fallen by the. That's not to say they're not a big club, and it's not to say they haven't got history.
No, just that's what I was referring to. Because it's like when you look at history, Sunderland are really massive.
And to be fair, Sunderland have a really decent following in the Championship. Now, they release the attendances, and at the top of it, they're always Sunderland, Leeds,
Portsmouth,
and Southampton.
Yeah.
But Southampton are only top because they play the opposite week to Sunderland and Leeds, thankfully. So that's why we've got the highest attendance when the week number comes out, because then the teams aren't home. Because our stadium's not as big as ours, and we wouldn't fill out a 40,000 seater stadium. Fair play to Leeds and Sunderland, they will.
Yeah. That's it.
Newcastle.
Bottom 3, look. Luton are out of the bottom 3.
Newcastle, St James's Park. That's a big stadium.
Can we just go on the whole congratulations to Sheffield United for getting their first win?
To be fair, they played well.
Even if it did come at the cost of a penalty.
Were they the last team to get a win?
That was their first win of the season.
No, I mean, I think they were the last team to win.
They
a
were the
game
last team with no win,
England,
weren't they? Because even Luton Luton had already won a game, haven't they?
Because I think Sheffield Wednesday had won the week before.
Yeah.
And I think it was just Sheffield United that hadn't got a win.
At all.
I think they were last across all 4 leagues.
That's Sheffield clubs doing well for the city.
Yeah.
Brilliant. They've both just got their first win in November. Oh, God. It doesn't look good, does it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's definitely shaping up to be an interesting season. I'm a little bit gutted, though, because Everton are starting to pull their act together, which is disappointing.
Hopefully they get their minus.
Oh, yeah, I want to see them get sent down. I want to see them suffer for the cheating and financial fair play breaches that they've been getting away with for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah. Minus 12 points,
City,
I'll be
hello.
happy.
Yeah, but they didn't get us relegated by doing so. For 2 seasons in a row, they've had Leeds right at the bottom, which, at the end of the day, we got relegated through playing. I don't dispute that. what you do on the pitch is one thing, but the fact that they cheated for 3 years to get into a position where for 2 years in a row, teams in the bottom have been screaming, why are they not getting looked at? It's now a multi-million-pound court case.
It isn't good, is it? It doesn't make the Premier League look good. It doesn't help the Premier League.
Well, they're
in
at the
any way,
last
shape, or
stage
form.
now, aren't they, to deem a decision if it's fair.
Thing is, though, right? It's like now if Everton get their 12-point deduction, they get. How does that help Sheffield United when they got went down because of it? Where does that help Leeds when they got put down because of it? Who else went down because of it? I think Southampton went down because of it, didn't they?
Oh, well, we were well
Burnley.
so.
Burnley. They were one of the teams that put in against it. It doesn't help them, does it? It doesn't help the teams that got relegated because of them cheating.
Nothing's going to change because of it, though.
So I just want to see them get relegated.
Well, there's always been games where that
And
happens.
I also used to be a big fan of Everton in the sense that I never had anything against them until, was it last season where their fans decided to attack the players?
I don't
Well, their
remember
board
it,
members
but
couldn't go to the games anymore.
Yeah, but no, there was like a thing where they were coming out, the players were leaving the ground and they were banging on the cars and stuff where you've got players with their kids in the car. Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So they were like actually physically trying to attack their players. And at that point, I just was like, wow, I don't like you anymore.
Yeah, their owners couldn't go to the games because it was a
I
risk
remember
of their
that,
life.
yeah, because the
turned
lives
up
were
to their
literally, like the threats have become that genuine and real that
Yeah.
people were like, oh, you can't go to the
Yeah.
like, you own the club and you can't go to the games anymore
because
we're worried somebody might do you on the way in or on the way out. That's a bit much, that is.
Yeah, so when that's the situation, let them go down.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we went down, we were shit. We didn't attack anybody, we just booed a lot. You know,
nobody can blame you for booing.
No, exactly.
Nobody can blame you for booing.
We did the same.
Sometimes you
We did the
deserve to
same.
get booed.
I mean, it cost board members their jobs. It cost, these things happen, and you just have to lick your wounds and go down. But when that kind of shit's going on, it's unacceptable.
It doesn't help, does it? It doesn't help football.
But again, like you guys go on about the reason you hate Liverpool as fans, and the reason you don't like them is how the fans have endeared themselves over the past 40, 50 years and so. And it's the same with Leeds. Why does everyone hate Leeds? Because the fans, blah, blah, blah. Everyone hates Leeds, just known fact. But I never had anything against Everton until last season when they started attacking their own players. And
I've been to Ellen Road as an Arsenal fan
Yeah.
and sat in the Leeds end and had no jot of trouble. And the guy behind me, let me tell you, was full on Leeds. Right? Don't ask me how I know, but he was full on Leeds. Now I'd gone and I bought a Leeds shirt to sit in the because I wasn't actually watching Arsenal.
But you wouldn't
Leeds.
have trouble if you were
Right.
sat in
I
the
was
Leeds
watching
and wearing the
Wolves
Leeds
versus
top.
Leeds.
Yeah.
And I bought, but it was obvious I'd just bought it. It got the iron marks in it and everything from where it had been folded in the bag.
Yeah, but lots of people.
And this
do
guy,
that.
and he literally grabbed me by the shoulder and went, "You're not Leeds fan, are you?" And I went, "No, I'm not." He went, "Who'd you support?" I went, "Not Man U." He went, "Well, you're all right by me, but who is it?" And I went, "I'm an Arsenal fan." And he went, "No, it's good." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because I wanted Leeds to win anyway, because we played Wolves, and I'm not a big fan of Wolves. So, but yeah, and he was massive as well. He was. But yeah, just dead friendly. Like, I mean, I got a lot of stick during the game because Arsenal, I think, were losing at the time.
Yeah.
And he kept checking his phone and throwing his phone in my face, like, going, "Oh, look at your shite. Look at that. Look what you're doing. At least we're winning." I'm like, "All right, mate, go easy. I'm here watching you guys."
I've been in the home end with Southampton. I went to a Birmingham game with a couple people. Nobody was a Birmingham fan. I think I went to the game with an Everton fan and Middlesbrough fan. And we just decided to drive to the game. We saw where Southampton were playing, and we went down, and Southampton got beat. I think it was 2-0 by Birmingham. Yeah. And it's really frustrating watching your team lose, and everybody's jumping up around you, and you kind of just stand up and you're like sarcastic, like.
Yeah, I did the same because obviously where I work.
Just so.
I work with a lot of Birmingham City and Villa fans, and I had we were playing Birmingham. And one of the lads was like, "I've got a free ticket if you want to come." I was like, "Yeah, all right then." So I'm in the Birmingham end, and we spanked him 3-1. And the whole time I'm sitting next to like a bunch of people that are strictly Birmingham fans, and I'm trying to like, yeah, this is shit. We're losing. Oh, terrible. And then we go back to a pub, and on the door it says no away fans. And I got my friend going, yeah, you really stuffed us today. I'm thinking, shit, I am going to get my head kicked in now. Yeah. Not a problem. They were all absolute no issues whatsoever.
Twice I've been to watch Arsenal at Stoke and sat in the Stoke end.
I know, yeah, I remember that. We were working together then.
Yeah, Stoke are not a big fan of Arsenal. I don't know if you're aware of this.
They really have issues with Wenger, but it's because of the whole Ryan Shawcross and Aaron Ramsey tackle, even though Ramsey's leg was broken before Shawcross hit him. So, in theory, it wasn't really Shawcross's fault. He was just a little bit unfortunate. And Arsenal still hate Shawcross for that.
This about time for me to say I like Shawcross.
I just don't know what he did.
What did he do?
Broke his leg.
He didn't break his leg though, did he?
Broke his leg.
It was broken before the tackle went in.
That's why we hate Birmingham as well, because of poor old Eduardo. That was a rough one, to be fair.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
Sometimes these things happen, and
we were at a wedding that day when Eduardo broke his leg at Chapel on the Firth.
Were we?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Oh yeah.
Do you not remember that?
Mate, I've got the memory of a goldfish, I swear to God.
Yeah, we were at the chapel wedding.
Yeah, I remember which one. Good God.
We were up there. That's when Eduardo broke his leg, on that day.
Bloody hell.
Because while they were all celebrating in that room, I was in the other room watching the football.
You know what? That's mad to think that it was that long ago. This is it. It's like you talk about things like that. It's like, and I say I've got a memory of a goldfish, but I remember so many things, like so many footballing events, and it's like, wow, was it really that long ago?
All I know is the day that I got married, because you were there, we beat Liverpool, just as a nice factor.
Yeah,
that actually went into my speech because
you were also that nervous that morning that you were absolutely garbage at FIFA. Just thought I'd bring that up.
I wasn't garbage because of that. I'm always garbage at FIFA. I was never
sitting
good
there
at FIFA.
His controller was moving more than anything else in the room. He was fucking terrified. He was absolutely terrified.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Before his wedding day, bless him.
We're currently, I think we've just hit an hour.
Well, I think that might.
Well, we can call it on an hour.
So we don't really want to bore everyone to death.
The one thing I'd like to do is apologise for the noise and the fireworks. We didn't do enough forward planning, and we should have definitely put more thought into that. But we are recording on a Sunday, and come hell or high water or lots of noisy fireworks, we're going to record and it's going to be done. So we just hope that you enjoy it and
one thing
goes well.
Obviously, we haven't got a theme thing for like we had the teams for this week. Last week we sort of piloted, but if people do want to comment or come up with ideas or something they want us to talk about, that would be a.
I don't know how you got that out of my head because I was going to say that myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna put our email address on everything that we're out on Amazon podcasts and on Spotify podcasts, on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we've got a Facebook group, and it's all the same name. It's all Sunday League Pundit Show, and the email address will be on it. The email address is sundayleaguepundits@outlook.com, but I will put that on all correspondence. It'll be on all media. If anyone does want to get in touch with us and just abuse us or give us topics or tell us what they think we should be talking about, or if there's teams we're not talking about that we should be. Obviously, we are going to be primarily the three teams that we support because we support them, but we are happy to, talk about or, otherwise abuse any other team that comes into fray. We're not fussy at all. We'll talk about anything. So yeah, if there's anything anyone wants to listen to, just let us know. Add it onto the topics, and we'll come up with some form of a discussion about it. No problem.
Like if somebody wants us to name another club and they go, right, 3 teams, pick if it's starting 11 for them. We'll go and do some homework and see what we come up with. Might be easier.
It might be easy because your art's not going to be in it, is it?
Yeah.
Because if it's just 3 random teams, you are
going
to look at it very
I just want to ask that no one ever asks for fucking Man United.
So we do Man United.
Yeah, we'll go with Man U.
Players that are
Definitely
playing
going
for
wrong,
Manchester clubs.
That's not a bad shout, you know, because there's some proper, really, really good players that play for both of them too.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we're going to wrap it up there then. Thank you very much for listening. If you have, yeah, we'll be back again next Sunday, released next Tuesday, as this will be for release this Tuesday. And hopefully I'll have it actually all sorted out this week, so it will actually upload when it was meant to, whereas this week I had to do it all manually on everything, and it was a bit of a ball ache. It's taken me all week to get it all straight, but hopefully this week will be a lot easier and a lot smoother. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back next week.